Hello, welcome to what are these face-off sprints? That's what I'm trying to come up with.
What are we doing?
I don't know. We just show up
Face-off
at sprints at this point.
right for the Amazing Readathon. Hello. Let us know what you're reading in the comments. I am reading for something Romania. I think Romania, and I'm reading Christie's Great Idea, which is the first Babysitters Club book. So we're gonna be finishing that hopefully in this first sprint. What is everyone else reading?
I am going to Sweden, and I am reading Finna, which actually is a Swedish book.
Nice.
So
I'm assuming translated.
I think so.
You know what is translated that I didn't realize was translated because it's so popular? The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yes.
I didn't realize that until I read it and started reading about the author.
I remember somebody talking about it in the Discord, and that's when I figured it out.
Yeah. It's actually not terribly bad. It could do itself better, but it does have like for a book that was written at the time it was written, like it has a person who is poly in it, or at least is open to open relationships and will be in them. So that's pretty for something that was written when it was written, and it makes sense because the author is Swedish.
Right.
Yeah,
they're a little further ahead of us over here. I am reading River of Teeth by Sarah Gailey.
What country are you going to?
I'm going to Lithuania.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's read comments. Hello. How are we? Team Grey Machine, let's go. Back from Barbie movie, ready to read for my second country.
Nice.
Wonderful. Hello, reading Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Love that book.
That was so good.
Hello, Tina, reading 2 books, not for Face Off Weekend, I need to finish before I can start Face Off books.
We're 4 books away from 250 entries.
Wait, I need to find a way to fit Frost into this.
Give me 30 minutes,
Brianna.
Still awake. We love to have you. Welcome. Hello, Team Yellow. We love to see it. Hello, Nicole. Also still awake, but a night owl. Same. I'm the American on the backward schedule, so. Lots of Team Blue in the comments. Hoping to finish one more book before falling asleep.
Nice.
Hello. Another Team Blue, a Team Red. Physically can't read any books tonight, but I'll start up tomorrow. Wonderful. Hey, reading for Sweden.
Me too.
Kendra, staying until I finish my first book for this Face Off and then bed for me. Fair. It's very late. Reading Bingo Love Volume 1. It's insanely cute. Probably finish Heartstopper Volume 3 in the first sprint. Reading My Happy Marriage.
So many people have been reading that one recently. Because I think it was it's Shay's favorite.
One of Shay's.
I think so, yeah. Journey to Topaz for Finland.
What happened to Chicago?
Finishing the last bit of Lady Castle for my second read for Bulgaria. Wonderful. Nice. Reading Dark Waters by Catherine Arden for Bulgaria. I'm reading Insomniacs After School Volume 1 for Lithuania. My comments are jumping around like
nobody's joke.
I've been reading a ton of the Amazon collection short stories. It's been a really cool way to sample different authors. I have some that are downloaded to my Audible, and I'm hoping that I can find a way to fit them in because they're the Amazon or the Audible original ones are not very long. They're only like 2 or 3 hours each.
That's what I read for my first one was the Audible original, and you can count the little banner for yellow.
I almost used I was like contemplating whether I was going to use a credit, like a couple of credits to get Babysitters Club books, but they're only 2 hours long, and I just
don't use a credit on
it. Don't use a credit.
I was like,
do you like them?
It would be fun to listen to Elle Fanning read them, but I was like, maybe I'll just wait until Ari decides she wants to read
Yeah.
Babysitters Club books,
But like,
and
I'm
then
sure you
I'll buy
could
them.
find those at the library. Like, you could find those on Libby somewhere.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm reading Marmalade Boy and going to Portugal. Reading for Germany, The Ardent Swarm by Yamin Monet? I don't know. Okay, I can barely speak English, so definitely not trying to speak.
Especially at this time of the night.
Right. I'm reading Lightlark for Belgium. Wonderful. Just wanted to come say hey and drop a like before I try to go to sleep. Stupid sickness is taking all of my energy.
Yes, go get some rest.
Feel better and rest, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Please rest, especially since with what you guessed.
Yeah, please just look at the back of your eyelids, you know?
Read the back of your eyelids.
Reading The Secret Garden for Hungary. Oh, I love The Secret Garden. I should reread that. That's a classic that I actually like. And I'm not a classics girly. Like, I'm not. Like, The Secret Garden and, like, Anne of Green Gables and Jane Eyre are people. But, like, otherwise, classics are not for me. Hey, Brie.
Little Women is like one of the few classics that I like.
Yeah, Little Women is a good one, too.
Like, is it culturally acceptable? Probably
No.
not anymore.
Is it the best? No.
And, I mean,
But like that is nostalgic. And then also the movie is so good.
The movie is so good. The book itself is nostalgic. And like also with classics, we have to also remember that they were not written in modern times.
Right.
Or they would not be a classic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and some things like you look at and they were revolutionary for their time.
Yeah.
But they still had issues in them. Like Charles Dickens was really well known for like like people were not known for like advocating for the poor the way that he did to something. Like that was why he wrote a lot of his. But if you go in there's a whole lot of racist shit in there. He was
for
sure. Very strong anti-Semite.
If I remember correctly, even Little Women was pretty progressive for its time.
It
It's
like one of the original like feminists.
It just like doesn't really hold up in 2023, but like as an adult reading it in 2023, I can appreciate it for what it is.
I think you have to be careful with any book that's written around like that centers around the time of the Civil War.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I feel like it has more scrutiny.
Yeah,
it does.
It's storming here, and this fibro flare-up has me being an insomniac, not to mention scaredy dogs. Well, I'm so sorry. I mean, storms are great, but not if they're causing you to have a fibro flare, so... You know? 250 in 4 hours. Wow. We're just reading over here.
There are over 500 people, like, participating, so... It tracks.
I've truly never had this many people on a live stream ever in my life, especially not at this time of night. Like I'm at 68 people, and I'm like, please don't unsubscribe. Like I'm like trying to be on my best behavior.
Not watch time. You should go subscribe to Neva if you are not already.
Yes, please do. Thank you. Thank you for hitting the like, Jess. Good night. Reading for Portugal. Reading Granny Girl Volume 1. Only 9 p.m. for me, so I'm good to go for a few more hours. Wonderful.
It's only 10 for me. I'll be here for a few hours at least.
I mean, it's my noon, so I'm good.
You're good. You'll like be on with Victoria next.
I probably, honestly, that was kind of my thing because Mr. Reading with Neva was like, "Don't you have 24-hour sprints this week?" And I was like, "No, that's not next weekend, but the weekend after." And he was like, "Well, what?" He's like, "You have something going on this weekend." I said, "Yeah, the 48-hour face-off."
So I had a coworker today that was like, "So do you have any weekend plans?" And I'm like, "How the fuck do I explain that I'm going to sit in front of a computer for 2 days?"
My librarian, who they've known, like she's one of the ones that figured out the earliest that I have a shelf at the library. That I walk in the door and she's like, "Oh, okay," and she goes to get the book that was at the front desk. Like I'm not even like I'll look at her, I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna browse. Actually, I'm not just here to pick up." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool." She was like, "Oh, what are you doing this week?" I was like, "We're doing a reading event."
A reading?
No, I literally was just like, I'm hanging out with some friends.
Well,
all these books.
my library called me because I have an exuberant amount of Libby holds and checkouts right now. Like my card for my Indiana card is completely full on both ends.
Oh wow.
And they called because they thought that my card had been stolen.
And you're like, no, I just needed a lot of books.
Yeah, because I only really check out like 2 or 3 books at a time from each library that I have, just to, you know, make sure that I have room for things.
Yeah.
And they called me the other day and were like, hi, we were just making sure that you are in possession of your card through Libby. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yes. And they were like, okay, well, you just have a lot more checkouts this month. In the first week of the month than you usually have in an entire month. And I was like, yeah, I'm participating in a readathon. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, I understand. All right. She was like, I hope you have a great reading month. And I was like,
wow. My librarian
I love that.
Bat an eye as I walked out with 30-something books out of the library. Like, oh my God, I'm a child again.
I don't think they would have said anything if I had gone in and like physically gotten the books, but they were concerned.
They were concerned that your Libby account.
If someone's Libby card has been stolen, it's because their phone has been. They've got bigger problems,
right? Well, and here's the thing: is like I didn't do this, but I actually contemplated putting Ari's card on my Libby because she now has an adult card now that she's 6.
You should. You should 100% do that.
And then also checking out books on her card because she doesn't use Libby. She
doesn't use the ebooks. Yeah, you should totally do that.
So I'm thinking about just like her card lives in my wallet anyway.
Yeah.
Allison is singing "I'm Blue" for our shirts. My Happy Marriage is amazing.
Brianna's green.
Anime.
I'm just chaos, okay? I am the embodiment of chaos. Forget the god of mischief. I'm pretty sure Loki's actually the god of chaos.
Chastity, to answer this question, it is because Daisy and Rome are the equivalent of Magnolia and BJ and Daisy Hates. I need to finish Daisy Hates. I'm probably just gonna purchase it now that it's been taken off of Kindle Unlimited. But that's why, because I got 25% into Daisy Hates, I think, before I just wasn't in the mood to read it at the time that I read it, or was trying to read it. And I would definitely compare Daisy and Rome to Magnolia and BJ from Magnolia Parks. So that's why, because they give the same, like, toxic vibe. They're slightly less toxic, but not by enough. You know what I mean? It's fine.
That song is stuck in my head now.
Mine too. Reading Ella Enchanted for London.
Oh, that's such a good book.
I haven't read that in so long. Want to go to London, get to London first. Only have a little less than 4 hours in it, and I'm reading it at 2 times the speed.
I wonder if I could read. I hate the audiobook narrator. Never mind.
Oh my God, Nicole! I hope you love Divine Rivals. It's literally my entire personality. So. Yeah. Ever since I finished Divine Rivals, it's been literally my entire personality. So, absolutely love that book. Got Bulgaria again, so got to pick something new. Bree, what are you knitting? Or are you knitting? Crocheting?
I'm making I'm trying to stay on top of my genre blanket, and I'm like 4 books behind.
I've given up on mine. I will pick it back up at sometime. Finished 2 for Face Off and enjoyed neither of them. Wow, I'm so sorry. Probably gonna call it for tonight and hope tomorrow is a little better. That might be the best. Also not a classics person, but I love The Secret Garden. Yes. Little Women is also a nostalgic read. Yes.
I feel like classics are a hit or miss because there's a part of them that, like, if you're gonna read a classic, a lot of the time to really appreciate it, you have to be someone who enjoys that time period and that history as well. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of classics because of where they are in their time. Like, it's just not going to be fun for you because you're going to miss a bunch of stuff. Like, not everyone is Alexandra Dumas and able to write characters that are just fun and witty and keep you engaged in the book, even though you're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with the French monarchy right now. What is it?
To be honest, and I get side eye for this, but like one of my favorite classics is the Book of Mice and Men for the story, like for the underlying lesson in the book, not necessarily for the story, because the story is very problematic. Okay, they use the N word a lot in that book, but like I've always loved that book, and people are like, "Ew, why would you like that book?" And I don't know how to explain to people why I enjoy the characters in the book, not necessarily. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know it's a classic, and I know that it's like there's definitely some, because sometimes I think people, a lot of the, like, one of the, if I'm thinking of the book that I'm thinking of, because I haven't read of Mice and Men, but I do know a little bit about the plot. Like, I do believe that there was some like social commentary that if you don't know that social commentary going on, you're going to think that it is and it probably is problematic on many levels, but you're going to think it is a problematic work for the wrong reasons.
And it definitely is a problematic work, but it's not problematic for the time period that it was written.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So like them using, why is my light blinking? Stop. For the time period that it was written, it's not overly problematic, even with the use of the N-word, because that was a word that they used.
Mm-hmm.
Right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, it's again, like you're just trying, you have to like judge them for the time period that they were in.
Yeah.
You can still, like, especially as a content creator, you can bring to light, hey, this is problematic.
Yeah, this is problematic. This is what was going on at the time.
Today, this would be a problem.
Yeah. And because, like, something you also have to consider with classics is, was this person, like, especially when you have some that are super problematic, and like they were problematic even for the time, you're like, okay, but like there were a lot of people back at this time that were speaking out about this, and like actually like so like they would this was written also in opposition to them. Like it wasn't like this was an issue that no one had thought of this way before.
Correct.
Right.
So
to answer your question, Allison, my top tier patrons will get to, because I am recording a tell-all.
I'm sure someone will figure it out eventually.
Someone will figure it out.
Yeah, someone will figure it out. These streams are great. It's just after 6 p.m. in Hawaii. About to start another Sweden book. Wonderful. Had the same issue. Bria had coworkers asking me what I was going to be doing, and I didn't know how to explain that I'm going to spend all weekend, so I vaguely said reading. Yeah,
I'm just reading.
I kept wearing my Amazon or my Amazing Readathon shirt, and they were like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like, "It's a readathon, okay?" And they're like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "You read a lot of books. That's it. Like none of you people read, so just get away from me.
Just leave me alone."
Little House on the Prairie are my nostalgic reads. My late grandma gave them to me. They are what started me on my book journey when I was like 4. My cousin would read them to me. Yeah, these are also nostalgic for me, but also they're problematic.
Problematic.
Purposely, I will reread them for myself, but I purposely have not introduced them to Ari.
Yeah.
There are better, like, Wild West types.
Yeah, because I don't know how to explain to Ari, like, what the issues are with these books.
Mm-hmm.
And I started, when she got into Matilda,
yeah,
because she watched Matilda the musical, and then I was like, this is a book. And she was like, it's a book! So then we read the book. I was like, well, let me read Little House on the Prairie. And then I started rereading them, and I was like, never mind. You're not.
Never mind.
Yeah. That's one of those things that it's like and I think people's view on those would be very different if the author hadn't held many of those beliefs until she died.
That's also true.
Like it's one of those things that like it makes sense that as a child, when that was what her world was, that's what she would have been told by her parents. That was all she knew, but she very much held some of those beliefs until her death. That's the I think the thing that like kind of.
It wasn't just that she was writing them from her child point of view, and then later it was like, but also when I grew up, this was
also like putting in truly like not conflicting, but challenging that. It's not like I know J.R. Tolkien gets some flack for somehow he writes different anti-Semitic stereotypes, and he apparently people critiqued that, and he changed some of his books
to
be better and about that. So
And that's I do think that that's a big reason that it like we read them now and we're like, wow, these are problematic, is because the author themselves held that.
Well, and
Yeah.
we'll do the same thing in, 60, 70 years when we look at things like Brandon Sanderson, who
Mhm.
writes some problematic shit, but like is currently kind of deconstructing. And
Mhm.
so like, you can kind of see the switch in some of your books.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about Sanderson is that he's outright stated that, like, listen, I don't, like, when I write stuff, I don't think I should just write about people who believe what I believe.
Right. Well, even like if you start like listening to some of his recent interviews, it kind of looks like he's stepping back from the church, which like I'm so excited for. But he's like, he has to be careful because he is a professor at BYU, which is a church-funded college.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard because he loses his entire community to some extent.
Exactly. So he's careful about it, but he's kind of just saying like, I believe this, but like that doesn't mean that you have to also live that way. Is kind of where he's at right now, because like that's what he said about like queer people.
Oh, Brando
is like, well, my the way that I was raised believes this, but that does not mean that you have to live this way,
or should be made to,
yeah.
And,
so and that's where he is on his deconstructing, and like I appreciate that.
Yeah, and deconstruction is not a thing that happens like overnight. You don't just like wake up one day and are like,
no,
I'm deconstructed.
Like, so I'll talk about him on my channel, but I still only buy his books secondhand. And the reason why is because he is still an active member of the LDS, and the LDS Church requires a 10% tithe to stay active. And so I'm like, I am not going to support the LDS Church.
No, yeah.
But I'll just buy his books on Pango. Like,
exactly. There's hope, my dude. I was at that stage for a very long time where I'm like, you know what?
Very long time. And obviously he has really deep ties because he's like quite literally has tenure at a church-funded college.
Yeah, and that's like all his family, all his that's
family.
what I think people don't really understand when they're like, oh, just leave, just do this, just do that, like just cut off the people who do this. It's like some people, that is their support system.
Yeah,
that is how they're paying bills. That is how they are able to go to work because they have mom or dad to watch their kids. Like, so it's like, I don't think a lot, because I think a lot of the people who do say that have had no problem cutting off family. And I think they don't really understand how hard that can be if you're someone who generally has a good relationship with family, but like you think that they are very, very wrong and some of their beliefs are evil.
Yeah.
Sarah's reading Avatar and Heartstopper Volume 3.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I will always advocate for Divine Rivals. I gave it 6 stars. It's honestly like the best book that I've read this year. Like, it knocked Magnolia Parks like
better than Priest.
Yeah, even better than Priest. And honestly, I've had a few that were 6 stars. Priest was one that was a 6-star book for me. Like, because I really like my time with that book was like
that's on deconstructing.
Truly. Yeah, I do. I like Of Mice and Men. I usually read it like once a year. I don't talk about it a lot because I know that it is problematic in 2020.
Right.
Like, I'm aware of that. I read it last year after not having read it for like 5 years, and I was like, ooh, this was a little bit more. Remember?
Well, and I think as content creators, we have to even be like extra careful about the books that we read and talk about because we do have a platform. It's one thing
to have a platform. And we're also not, like, I can see the value in tearing apart some of these books in a classroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're having lessons and you're discussing the material and, like, you have the ability to be like, okay, here is the context. Here is what we're focusing on. This is what they were doing.
Yeah.
Here is also, let's talk about, like, what the problematic aspects of this is.
But if you're just, like, in your, okay, this is my July wrap-up. I read this book. And you know, like.
No,
that's not the time or space for that.
Yeah, so
I always try to mention that. Like, if something is like problematic, be like, listen, here's resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I did my August hopefuls, for anyone that watched that, my August TBR hopefuls, I did mention I probably will not speak about it again, to be honest. But the first Harry Potter book is on that. On my TBR hopefuls. Yes. But I explained why it was on there. Because technically I started rereading that on July 31st. But the reason is because my mom and I used to read it. We used to reread the entire series every year, like especially after I moved to Florida, when we were separated. So, and I say like in there, I was like, I'm just gonna preface this with a really long, like it was a really long explanation. But I was like, I'm just gonna preface this by saying I'm reading this in memory of my mom because I actually haven't really picked them back up since she passed away because we read them in 2019 and then she passed in 2020. So like I didn't pick them back up again because I was like, it feels weird to read them like without her. But then I was like, but I'm not really gonna talk about them. I don't do wrap ups, so like you're not gonna see it mentioned there.
Correct.
And next month, if any of them make it onto like my next month's hopefuls, I probably won't even say anything.
Right.
Like, I mentioned it. You're welcome. Hello, Elise's. Hello, Rye. Still awake over here. Nora having issues sleeping on our trip. Went to bed at 1:30 last night and just fell asleep 20 minutes ago. Oh no.
Baby girl, look at
2 and it was up at 3:30 and is up now. Good night, Bree. Next year I really need to do a genre blanket or a temperature blanket.
Fun.
Have you all enjoyed making one?
Yeah. As long as you stay on top of it. Last year I didn't stay on top of it, and so I never actually finished it. But this year I'm staying on top of it.
You got too stressed out last year.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Rye is reading Next of King. Can't think to do my flag, but it is white and blue. Yeah.
Finland.
That's Finland. White and blue one is Finland. Sweden is blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow, yeah.
Norway is white and red. It was a whole phase.
I'm waiting for Brittany to read this book. We are going to read it. Okay, but we're not right now. I'm actually this is by the same person that wrote Out on a Limb.
Oh yeah.
And this is the one that Brittany found first. And I didn't realize it was the same person until I downloaded Out on a Limb on my Kindle.
Oh, okay.
Never heard of a genre blanket until this year. Yeah, me either. I had always just heard of like the temperature blankets, but it's the same thing, just with books. Say Bailey, say I'm reading, don't ask more questions. Yeah, reading sprints this month.
Really? The only thing you need to do to explain a readathon is I'm doing a reading marathon.
Yeah, I'm reading as many books as possible. Thank you. Although one of the guys at work was like, don't you do that every month? And I'm like,
technically, yes.
I mean, technically, yeah. But also, like, any other month,
but this time we get points for it.
Yeah. Any other month, I could be like, I don't feel like reading today, you know? And it doesn't affect anyone but me. Just finished Lady Castle, and now I'm off to Romania with my third spin. Hello, Nell. Thanks for popping in. Good night. Does the books for your face-off have to have all the colors on the flag on them?
Yes.
Yes, it has to have at least a little bit of each color. It doesn't have
to have only those colors.
But it has to have a little bit of each color.
Yep.
So. Hello? Hello, Meredith. I'm going to finish the graphic novel and then go for a walk. Wonderful. I had a college class that we discussed. Can we separate the author from the work that they have out there? It was in relation to Sherman Alexis and the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian.
That man got kicked out of most Indigenous book circles so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Like, I know, like, every single Indigenous reviewer that I know is like, we don't talk about Sherman Alexie. He does not get the time of day from us any longer.
Fair.
And they'll be like, check this out. And it's great because, like, I do think people look at that one book and go, okay, I don't have to read any more Indigenous lit. And they're like, okay, but there's all of this great Indigenous lit over here. Hi.
Right.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very good conversation, very intense though. So behind on my temperature blanket. Truly, I did 4 rows of my genre blanket and then I stressed myself out, so I haven't picked it back up.
I just find it's like nice when I'm doing sprints. If I'm not hosting, because then I don't have to worry about the comments.
Yeah.
Then like when we're doing the chatty bits, like that's pretty much the only time that I really do it, or just when I'm listening to an audiobook. But it's just something to do with my hands.
Yeah. That's fair. All right, that is the end. Oh, here we go. What exactly is a genre blanket?
So there's a color for every book, like for every genre, and then each row is a book that I read.
And you set your own colors.
Yeah, like I picked colors back in January that like will go with my living room, so that these can be couch blankets. This is my second one because my January through June got too big. So I'm stopped on June 30th and then I started another one.
And you can decide, like, some people, like, I know somebody that's doing one based, like, instead of doing genre, they're doing it based off of the format that they read. So like they have one color for physical, one color for audio, one color for Kindle, and then they have a color if they like mixed
immersion, like mixed immersion or something like that.
Mixed their...
Last year I did star ratings instead of genres. I don't like that idea as much. Or like personally, I just didn't like it as much because it was a little bit too crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, I don't have it. My other blank, my first half of the year is in the wash. But like there's an entire green section for when we were doing Smut Den. And then there's an entire silver section from when like Realmathon was happening. So I was reading a lot of fantasy. And like you can kind of see throughout the year, like, oh, this is where we were.
Yeah.
I just went and was like, okay, how many links or how many chains do you need for a queen size blanket? Yeah, and then I made sure that worked for what I wanted.
I do 200 stitches across.
I think I did 150 because when I kind of held it out like this way, it was long enough that it could comfortably sit across my lap.
Perfect, yeah.
And that was kind of my, like, I didn't necessarily need one that was big, because when I do finish it, which I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read this year and then start like my 2023 blanket in 2024.
Some people were doing that so that then they wouldn't
and then I have all my data sitting in front of me.
Yeah. Well, and then that way you can't like manipulate the data.
Right.
You can't be like, oh, I really want to do a purple row, so let me do this genre.
Yeah, and like really like can't do that. Yeah,
what you're doing.
So I think that's how I'm gonna do it, but mine will be long enough, like lengthwise, that it will sit across my lap. Because really, I just want it to be like a reading blanket.
Yeah,
not necessarily like big enough for my bed.
That's why I'm kind of glad that I split the year up because we have a couch and a love seat, and so like now we'll have a couch blanket for each couch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful. All right. Do we want to do a sprint?
You know, that is what we are here for.
It is.
Yes, we do.
Now that we're at
falling asleep.
45 minutes good for y'all?
Perfect.
All right. Then we will see everybody in 45 minutes. don't know what my computer was doing. I wasn't being stupid. Hello.
Hello.
We gained an Aoife.
It's
It's
Sorry
Aoife.
sorry to anyone that heard my ambiance. I forgot that was on. Sorry. It's just like rain. How did we do? I finished my book. So
Nice.
I respun, and now I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to read next. Why?
What country did you get?
I got. Son of a bitch, I don't remember. Finland? No. Yes. No. Sweden?
Read Finna or Fina. That's what I'm reading right now.
Okay, I'll read that.
It's hella gay.
Ooh, gay.
It's like if IKEA had wormholes and was gay.
If IKEA was gay.
What is this?
And it's only a 3-hour audiobook.
Well, I'm still.
Like I listened to 50% of it in that spread.
I want to know who IKEA would be gay for. Would it be like a Home Depot situation?
Oh,
or
sorry,
would
no, like the employees were gay.
Oh.
Is it this?
It's maybe the blue one. Is
Who's
it-
the author?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Cool.
I got it on Scribd.
Yay, now I can listen. So I don't have Scribd anymore.
That's fair. The only reason I keep it
Because-
is so that Becca still has audiobook stuff
There.
because her library doesn't have a ton, and she's still a minor, so she can't have like a bunch of library cards.
Rude.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I got rid of Scribd because it got to a point where I was not using it. The only person that was really using it was Mr. Reading Waniva, and then he stopped using it because a lot of the books that he was listening to were books that Mariah and I had already bought on Audible.
Oh right.
So I was like, I'm not going to continue to pay $12 a month for
Right.
this if you're not going to use it. And he was like, you can just get rid of it. And then, like, I got rid of it, and like 4 days later, he was like, your script is not working.
Yeah, I know.
Clearly, sir, because I'm not gonna. I don't know. I just don't feel like paying for subscriptions that I'm not using. Like, I just,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't. I very rarely ever have to pay for it anyways because like people use my code.
Oh, fair.
yeah, it's fair.
So
Yeah, I don't. So. How did you do,
Okay.
Margaret?
I finished River of Teeth by Sarah Gailey, and I started Toilet Bound Hanako-kun for Bulgaria. I think it was Bulgaria. It was red, green, and white.
That's one of the red green and white.
And
That's
you
correct.
look like you're about to fall asleep, ma'am.
Yeah.
Not quite, but I'm actually gonna head out here.
I was about to say you have sprints in like 6 hours, so
You go get some sleeps if you need to. Like I
Yes.
can tag team.
Yeah, no, I am gonna go get some sleeps. Thank you for
I can
having me.
tag team for you.
No problem. You're always welcome.
Thank you. I'll see you guys in the morning.
see you in the
Bye.
morning.
Love you. Bye.
Aoife, how did you do? Did you read? I know you just.
I did. I have just woken up, so welcome to my bed. If I tell you what book I am reading, sorry.
I said hello to the future.
Hi, welcome to tomorrow for you. What is it, like 10 o'clock at night?
At 11:30.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
We don't have the flying cards yet, but we're working on it. If I tell you what book I am reading, maybe you'll be able to guess the country.
It's probably one of the red, green, and white ones.
It is not.
Really?
Where
Is
the
it,
fuck
Is it the red and white one?
is it Ireland?
Nice.
I got it.
The spinning gods knew that for my first spin, I deserved a little treat.
Yeah.
So I was like, thank you. I spun at about 1:30 last night. Whenever I said to everybody I was going to sleep, I spun then because I was like, I don't want to have the whole hassle of trying to find a book and trying to find a color and trying to find a country in the morning. And my little face lit up in that vlog
Yay.
when the spinner landed on Ireland. It was quite a good time. So yeah, I read Heartstopper for that, and I am 112 pages in.
Nice.
So we're very certain finish in the next sprint.
Wonderful. Okay, so I have grabbed Fina, or however the hell you say this. I grabbed it. I have it.
The audiobook's been saying Fina.
Fina. Okay. What are you listening to this at?
2.5 times speed.
Okay, great.
I would do a 2.5 as well at the moment. I would do a 2.5.
Well, because so my Libby, all of my listening apps are automatically set to 2 times speed.
Yeah.
Because I can go down, but I'm like sometimes I'll go down, but not usually. Like usually 2 times speed is like a good speed for me, regardless of who the narrator is. But sometimes I have to go up because they read real freaking slow. So I'll start it.
It's a female narrator that doesn't have an accent. So
okay.
Great. Then I might.
I have just gone up this weekend for the first time. I went up from a 2 to a 2.5.
Nice.
She's grown now.
Remember when it was 1.5?
Oh, remember when it was 1?
No, I don't remember that.
And now you listen at 1 time speed just to like show people what a book is, and you're just like, these people are intoxicated.
Oh my god! Like I literally fall asleep.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
No,
I can't even listen to a WhatsApp voice message at 1 point speed anymore.
Neither.
No, it's got to be a 2.
You know that TikTok you can now do it 2 times speed.
Yeah, you can.
Oh my god, that changes everything.
No,
that changes so much.
The only thing that annoys me is like on my TV, I don't know if this is just my TV because
you can't speed up YouTube videos on TV.
Can't speed up YouTube TV. So the only things that I watch on my TV are live streams because I'm actually annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why all of my YouTubing, or most of it, gets done at work because my YouTube is set to 1.5 speed.
1.5, yeah.
And then usually
I set it for every video.
Do what?
Can you set it to stay for every video? Because
basically it will stay at 1.5 until you change it.
Until you change it, yeah.
The only time it'll change is because like obviously for a live stream it'll go back to normal, so then you have to go back in and change it for the next video.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But all of my YouTube listening is done at work because it's got to be, especially because I listen to a lot of like podcasts that are on YouTube, so like true crime stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not listening to you talk to me about true crime at 1 time speed.
No.
Like, someone told me one day that they speed my podcast up that's defunct, but like it's still there. You can like listen to it. And they were like, I don't like, no offense, but I speed your podcast up to 1.5. And I was like, I hope you do.
Yeah.
I
hope so.
Because like when I edit my videos, I speed them up to 1.5.
I've recently, iMovie you can't do 1.5. It just doubles it. So it took me a little bit of time to get to that point. And I'm still not great at editing at 2 times speed because I still have some like
it doesn't let you. Okay, I do edit on iMovie, but I do it on my iPad and it lets me toggle it.
Oh, maybe I just hit the L key and it just doubles.
1 1/4. Oh, I got you. Okay, that's why. Yeah, I like open up the little menu thing and then.
Oh yeah, no. If you just hit L while it's playing on the computer,
that will.
Then it just doubles.
Yeah, it does. What was I gonna say? I do not remember. Great. Wonderful. I'm losing my mind. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna listen to this in the next sprint. Thank God, because like I'm kind of sick of reading with my eyeballs, to be honest. Also, I'm not going to be rating Chrissy's great idea. I am going to film a vlog clip because I am going to do a vlog where I like reread.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, like I mean, it was fun.
Did
like
the 7-year-olds with responsibilities and financial gain? Did they bring joy to your heart?
Yeah, I think they were like 12 or 13 in this book, and like it was a fun time. You know what I mean?
Fun time. I remember when you read it as a 13-year-old, and you were like, "Hey, I could also take part. I could also take charge of a newborn infant."
What's crazy is like at the time that I was reading these books, I was taking care of newborn infants. I mean, they were my siblings, but even so, may my mother rest in peace. She did not raise her own children. Okay. So like it's very nostalgic. I just don't. it just feels weird for me to rate these books as a 31-year-old. So I'm kind of just sitting here like, I'm going to log it in my story graph as a book that I read, but I'm not going to give it a rating.
There.
I did that when I did a childhood favorites video a couple years ago. I was just like, finished reading.
Yeah, like it was cute, and like I was laughing, you know, and I was angry when the characters were angry. Like I felt the things, you know.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to feel.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I read it. It's very good.
Would you continue with the next ones? Should colors come up?
Yeah. So I actually, what I did, because my library had the first one, the third one, and the fourth one readily available, but none of the libraries had the second one. But my Indiana library, or no, my Iowa library had the first four, like in a bind up.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm.
So I have that downloaded because the second one is pink. So I just read like the first one, like in the bind up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it says that it's like an 8-hour book, but it's 4 books in one.
So it's like 2 hours.
Yeah. So it's only like this first one I got read in 2 hours. So they're not long books at all. But I'll definitely like continue the series. Like it's cute enough.
Nice.
Where did we leave off? I have no idea.
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Here, Tina said if she did it by genre, it would only be 2 colors, so she might do something a little more in depth.
A lot of people, especially if they read like just romance, they'll do like subgenre.
Yeah, that could work.
Or tropes.
Or you could do rating.
Ratings would also be an option.
Yeah.
Cover color.
Ooh,
then it's an explosion of color on your bed.
That's an interesting way to do that too. Yeah, and I would tell Tina to do like, I would suggest doing like format, except Tina only listens to audiobooks.
Oh, okay. So it's just a square.
Star rating would have a good variation.
Yeah.
And you could do like a really nice gradient too.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Kiana. Welcome. Finish. Storm, I'm sure, is sleeping, but good night, Storm. That you're hanging out. So glad that you finished your book. Just finished first read. Wonderful. Welcome, Monica. Also, I just want to say I'm not gonna cry. Okay, I'm a little emotional, but thank you to everyone that's like followed my channel because I'm only like 10 away from 500.
Oh, yes.
I think you'll get there.
Go do that right now. What are you doing with your life?
And I definitely took a screenshot when it said 490.
Oh,
the besties, and I was like, "Is this real life?" Because like, I didn't even expect to have 100 people that wanted to listen to me talk about books. Honestly, I started my booktube channel because actually Aoife, Michelle, and Lexi were like, "You should just do it." One day when I was in sprints, and I was like, "Okay."
I'm responsible for something.
You are, yeah.
I'm not allowed to be responsible for things anymore.
And then Mr. Reading with Neva was like, "I think that's a great idea because then I don't have to listen to you." Because like he doesn't want to listen to me talk about books. Okay, like some of them he's cool with me talking to him about, but especially like some of the smut that I've read, like he did not care about the Vicious Lust Boys, bro.
That's fair. The German is the same. He appreciates the books, but he ain't want to hear about it.
Good night, Leandra. And he's definitely read a bunch of books this year, like because of me. Like he read all of Sarah J. Maas except Crescent City, which he says that he's not going to read Crescent City until January when the 3rd book comes out. So he won't read it till February. And then he read both Legendborn books. He read both Amari books.
That's impressive.
He read the first Twin Crowns book, but he said he didn't really enjoy it. Like, he liked it, but it wasn't enjoyable enough for him to move on. Yeah. And then he did listen to Priory of the Orange Tree, but he says he's not going to read A Day of Fallen Night.
That's fair.
Yeah, because it's like 9,000 years long.
He was like, and he's very much like a person that when he reads fantasy, he like wants he also read Ace of Spades, but I think that might have been last year that he read that. Okay. He was really pissed at me for the end because the end is kind of like ambiguous. Like it doesn't necessarily get
pissed off at you. You didn't write it.
Oh, he was mad at me because I made him read it. So like he called me. Mm-hmm. This is what he does when he listens to books. He calls me when he's like at work or driving the car, and he'll be like, do you remember this part happening? And I'll be like, yeah. Like Legendborn, I guess it made him cry. I didn't think it would make him cry. I'm a
Aw.
bitch. I cry at everything. Okay. So like I cried when I read Legendborn. He called me while he was at work. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon. And I was like, hello? Like, hello? And he was like, you didn't tell me the Legendborn would make me cry. And I was like, oh.
Aww.
Oh.
See,
Crying
my
at
problem
work.
is when I finish a book, I forget that it exists.
Same.
I don't
I have
remember
not a
anything
clue
in
about
it.
that book once I finish it.
Jared, on the other hand, remembers everything. So,
That's how he is too.
so he'll be like, okay, I'm at this part in the book, and da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, definitely.
I definitely remember that part. Actually, that's how he and I are also. Like, I was packing because I'm about to move stuff into. Ari and I are about to share a room for a little bit, which is fine. But that means that her closet is going to become my book nook. Okay? So she doesn't use her closet anyway. So I was packing my already read books that are just like stacked into a bucket so I can move them into her room. And I was like, I don't remember, like, The Kiss of Deception. I read that last year, I'm sure, but I don't remember reading it.
Huh.
I don't remember anything. So I was like, well, clearly I'm going to have to go back and, like, reread some of these because I don't remember ever reading these.
Yeah.
Good night, Kay. Kay has now read 18 books this month.
Wow,
that is
that's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
not read that many books. Also, I just want everyone to know the other day I looked and it said I only read 4 books. And I was like, no, I didn't because I read 2 books at the beginning of this readathon, but those counted for July
Okay.
because I finished them during the kickoff sprints, and I was like, "Wow, that makes more sense."
Yeah.
Hello, M. Finally can join some sprints. Finished my London book. Off to France. Wanted to read an arc, but I think I'm going to look up an audio because I still have things to do. That's fair. 56 pages of Night Swim. Ate some pizza and finished a load of laundry. Very productive. Yay, Allison. I also submitted my first book for the weekend right before the end of the sprint because I finished.
I will be submitting my first book for the weekend at the end of the spring.
Yeah.
The end of the next one, I think.
Coco finished her Ireland book and looks like staying in Ireland. We'll be reading Lore Olympus 4. Wonderful. 179 of 259, so I'm sure everything is fixing to happen.
Nice.
IKEA and gay, yes. That is the description I was given, and truly. Also, I found a place that does the Kindle skins, like what I have on here, but they're full body wraps. They're like full Kindle wraps, so like it even does like the edges.
Oh, nice.
And they have a majority of the different pride flags. Like they have the polyamorous pride flag, which no one has.
Nice.
I'm about to order them, bro, because they have like they have poly, they have bisexual, they have trans, they have like I don't remember what they were calling the progressive pride flag, which is the one that has like
This one that has the
I
triangle.
think that's
Yeah,
the one with
triangle
the
in it.
triangle.
Like they have so many, and they also have all of those same flags for the Switch skins.
Oh, cool.
My room is about to be real gay. I'm just saying. More gay than it already is. It's pretty gay as it is. I finished my Happy Marriage and started listening to Head On by John Scalzi for Germany while I do some work. Wonderful. On page 146 of 198 of Dark Waters for Bulgaria. My next spin was Lithuania. I'm reading Empty Smiles next, finishing the series. Finished Jackets, Jack-o'-lanterns, and Justice by Tanya Capis? I don't know. 4.5, and then read 5% of Born in Fire by Nora Roberts. Finished my 3rd book. We'll be heading off to bed. Good night. I have about an hour left of Born in Fire. Hopefully I can finish it today. I believe in you. Just spun for the next book and got Portugal again. Any recommendations?
Yes, it's that's the author.
Yes. Is by that author that I'm not going to try to say their name because I'm going to butcher it.
Nino Cipri, I think is how the narrator said it.
Thank you so much. Again,
This is what audiobooks are for.
can barely speak English, so.
Fair.
Simultaneous added super gay is perfect. I mean, we love gay on this channel. People have unsubscribed from my channel when I talk about gay things, and then I'm like, clearly you're not my people.
Thank you for taking yourself out, Trash.
Thank you for
Thank you for not making me have to block you for a rude comment.
Right?
Good morning. Everyone's reading Heartstopper right now, and I'm extremely jealous. We love
Join the
Heartstopper.
club.
I'm hoping to read those because I do have them from the library. I need to just buy them physically.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just like so far behind. Like I've watched the show. I need to watch the second season, but like
I haven't watched the second season either. I'm not ready to be emotionally damaged this month.
me either.
I'm already being emotionally damaged this month
I might have to just
by
wait.
somebody in this stream, and it's not Neva.
Me.
I might just have to like wait until after this is over, you know?
Yeah.
Finish The
I need a
Silence
clear
by,
brain.
by Katrina Diamond. Fabulous, so good. Wonderful. My eyes are a little tired, but have not been blurry, so I'm good so far. We love to hear it. Vina sounds great. Might try it this weekend. Won't be starting it tonight because it sounds creepy and I'm a scaredy cat. I mean,
That's fair.
It's not like horror creepy. It's like sci-fi creepy.
Oh, okay.
Why are we?
It's like it's really campy, actually.
I'm gonna feel really stupid because this is probably for the almost 500. Okay, I was like, why are we excited for me?
For the 500.
That's fine. Yay! I'm so excited. Nicole from Dusty Booksellers is at basically the same number as you, so close to 500. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, listen, my channel grew much quicker than I expected it to. Maybe because I just did sprints for the first 6 months, and that's like all I did.
Well, and you started doing sprints right when sprints started getting really popular.
Yeah.
And I for the first month though, like I just sat on 8-hour sprints just by myself. Like no one showed up. Like the thing would say like 1, and then the 1 would turn to 0. And then Mr. Reading Maneva would be like, "Are you just sitting on sprints?" And I'm like, "Yes." So.
And now look at you with over 50 people.
I know, right? Loving all the traveling I've done this month. Today I've been to Lithuania, Ireland, and Portugal. What a dream. Also, I had someone message me from my job, and they were like, "So are you not coming to work tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm coming to work tomorrow," because I posted my Romania thing. They thought I was in Romania.
Yeah, you were going to Romania.
Oh.
And I was like, no, it's for the readathon. And they were like, oh, that book thing. And I was like, yeah.
How funny.
I just thought I would hop a plane to Romania. You know? It felt like a good idea. Would you guys consider your name okay for Portugal? Let me look.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I'm gonna look. Please hold.
Goodness,
I'm assuming they're speaking about the anime. Not the anime, the manga. Your Name.
If you think it counts, it counts.
Yeah, I mean, if it has all the colors for Portugal, I don't see like.
If you mean this one,
that's probably what
they say. Yes, I would say yes.
Is there any green in that?
Yeah, it's got green in one of the like shooting star things.
Yeah, there's green across the sky.
Yeah, green, red, yellow, blue, white.
Yeah.
I think you're good. I think you're fine.
Listen, I'm just gonna say my introduction to manga and anime was Your Name and Your Lie in April because my siblings hate me. So it's Your Name will wreck you. I just want you to know that now. You're welcome. I read the Heartstopper books 3 times. I haven't finished season 1 yet. That's fair. Yeah. Okay. Then yes, I say that it count. I would say that it counts because there is green in it, and that was kind of the color that I was the most worried about was green.
No, I think you're okay with it.
The next pick, intro to manga, was Spy X Family, and now I'm obsessed. I wish mine had been Spy X Family. Instead, my siblings were like, here, read these. And then I cried for 5 hours.
Okay.
So. All right. Are we ready for another sprint?
Yes.
Yes, I'm ready to caffeinate. I'm going to caffeinate at the start of the sprint.
Good plan.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know you did not just start. Stop. Okay, thank you. Okay, we will see y'all in 45 minutes.
Nobody's talking, and I'm very nervous.
Oh,
Okay. Hello. All right. We got ourselves a page.
Hi, Paige.
How did we do?
I finished Fina.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
got to
I really liked it.
I got to 48%. I'm on the edge of my seat, truly.
Right?
This is actually like
You got like 48% already.
But like at the same time, like kind of cozy. I don't know. It's weird.
it's like I want to buy this book now.
Yeah. There's a second one. Like it's a duology.
Like I want this on my shelf now.
I know, right? And the cover's really pretty.
The cover is really pretty and like it's so gay. Like I don't know. Everything about it is
And like very gender affirming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am loving it. How did you do, Eva?
I finished Heartstopper.
Yay.
Which means that I sadly had to leave Ireland for Portugal.
Oh, you got the tough one.
It is a toughie. So I picked up my copy of Loath to Love You, and I've already read the first story in this like months and months and months ago. So I'm reading the second story of this, and you will not believe the height difference between these two people.
He's really big and she's really small.
He is about 90 foot tall, and she is barely scraping 5 inches.
Yep. It sounds like Allie Hazelwood.
That tracks.
Me and Allie Hazelwood don't get along.
I think after this readathon, we have discovered that me and Allie Hazelwood's friendship is ending here.
We're done.
Yeah.
Allie Hazelwood. Yeah, Allie Hazelwood and I broke up after the first round of Rom-Comathon.
Oh, really?
Well, because I had read The Love Hypothesis, and it was a 3-star, which at the time that I read that, 3 stars was like a 1. So I was like, this is not great. Lost subscribers because I spoke about it like in the infancy of my channel, and people unsubscribed. And I was like, that's cool.
Wow.
Like,
I did an entire dedicated vlog.
We have some Allie.
Cancel me.
We have some Allie Hazelwood ultras in this world. My God.
Yeah. Well, and then I did one of her novellas during the first round of Rom-Comathon because I was like, if I can do it, yeah.
I think that's when I read. I think that's when I read the first one. Yeah, that's the one I read as well. Did you know that in that story too, this man is about 50 foot tall?
Yeah,
and this woman 4 or 5 inches. And
his penis is the size of both of their arms.
About 7 foot.
Like, no. I just couldn't. And then like they had sex in the kitchen, and I was just like,
yeah.
I don't know if Paige can talk. Her internet is being weird, I know.
I think Paige is here in body.
Yeah.
And the body is here, but the spirit is the body is winning, the spirit is weak.
Okay, we read these already. Sweet Tea Reads finished their book. Wonderful.
I
Book 1 for
realized how pasty I
am. From Bulgaria to Lithuania. Wonderful.
Nice.
Actively falling asleep as I try to read, so I'm out. Good night, Caitlin. Everyone's saying good night to Caitlin. Yes, Elyse's, you're just gonna we just pick by the flag colors. It doesn't have to be a book that was like takes place there. It's just based off the flag colors. Yeah. Good morning, Victoria. How are you? Second book done. Wonderful. Oh my god, everything's jumping. 22% through your France book. Wonderful. Read half of Lore Olympus 4. I need to read this series. Dozed off for 30 minutes and I'm refreshed and ready to go again.
Nice.
If I finish this book today, it will be my 100th book of the year and I will reach my reading goal. Wonderful.
Nice. I think you can do it.
Just read a romance that has a height difference trope. It was True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren.
I would put very good money that it's barely touching on the height difference here, though.
See, here's the thing. I don't mind a height difference trope. I just need it to be realistic.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that the woman is the size of my 6-year-old and the man is the size of the Hulk. Because I'm not going to believe you.
That is not believable.
I'm here. Was on the last page, so I had to finish it.
That's
Wonderful. On to my 11th read of Face Off Weekend. Wow. 2 a.m. and I'm dragging. Want to make it to 50% into Fahrenheit 451 before sleeping. Read 68 pages of The Night Swim. I need to read this too. 22% through my France book if I can finish. Oh, I just read that. Okay, I think her comment showed up twice. It's fine. Excited to get started. Very slowly waking up, trying to get myself roughly presentable. Now working on Insanity for Bulgaria. My current read will also be book 100. Wonderful. I don't even know what number book I'm on at this point. I just stopped tracking it on Instagram, so it looks like I've only read 50 books this year.
Yeah, I stopped tracking it on Instagram too, but that was book number 137.
I'm at book 83, so when I finish this one, I'll be book 84.
I don't think I'm going to put my face-off reads on my Instagram story, books of 2023, because if I do, it's just going to blow up my entire phone.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, I have in your bio where people will put a tracker.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've been doing, but I think I stopped at 72 and just forgot to update it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'll probably update it at the end of this. But I'm 72% to my goal of 115 books. So.
Nice.
Changed my name and then apparently retyped the same comment. It's fine. It's okay. Listen. If it's actually a Thumbelina retelling, I'm down. But also, my sister and I watched Thumbelina the last time I was at her house, which would have been at Thanksgiving last year, and that movie is not appropriate for children.
No.
But I watched it as a child. So watching it as an adult with was she 6? No, she was 5. But watching it with Ari, I was like, what did our mother allow us to watch?
Hey, listen, our parents allowed us to watch some stupid ass shit. And we were like, oh, I should not have been watching this as a 5-year-old.
Ari hasn't watched she keeps asking if she can watch The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I'm like, no.
She needs to be a little bit older for that. That is some jackass shit.
That was one of my favorite movies growing up. I went as Esmeralda for 4 years, from the time I was 8 till I was 12.
Fair.
And in my head, I'm like, why did my mother allow me to watch this as a child?
You need to give her an extra 3 or 4 years before she can appreciate Hunchback.
Oh, she's gonna be
it's one of the best in the entire Disney canon, but it's dark.
Listen, she's going to be at least 16 before she watches that movie. There's plenty of other ones like Moana, there's plenty of good ones that she can watch now. The Hunchback is not one.
Right.
Phenomenal soundtrack though.
Yeah, headed to Romania. Wonderful. Wow, my comments jumped. I'm happy that you all are enjoying this read along so much. I'm excited for you all. Thank you, Elises. No, I did not read 83 books for this readathon. Absolutely not. I would be dead right now.
Neva has done nothing but read since midnight on August 1st. That's all she's ever done.
Clearly. And I've been averaging about 4 to 5 books a day. No, I'm just kidding. 83 books for the year. For the entire year. Through slumps and everything. No. Could you imagine if I read 83 books and
that would be crazy.
That would be insane.
I would be dead. I'm
That's
sorry. I would be like
over 2 books a day.
I would be like, I support you all, Yellow Team, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm tapping out. Nothing like rewatching childhood faves to realize how inappropriate they are. It's unbelievable, truly. It's truly because I watch everything before Ari watches it. I mean, everything that was made before like 2015, I watched before she watched it. So
It's a vetting process.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I feel like there's stuff in here that like is not great.
Mhm.
And then I stumble across gems like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I'm like, as an adult, this is a great movie. As a child, this would like maybe this is part of my traumatization. Like truly.
This is how we get traumatized as children.
It's so rapey, bro. Like,
yeah. I'm sorry. Have you seen how Frollo interacts with Esmeralda and how he looks at her and how he smells her hair?
Listen, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I will die on the hill that Hellfire is one of the best Disney villain songs.
Like, it is the best Disney villain song.
But it is so rapey, bro. Like, what were you doing, sir? You're like 65 years old. She is like 16.
Did you see Emily McIntyre's Instagram story today?
I did. I watched it.
No. What was it?
So she always says that her books are not retellings because technically, like, she doesn't follow the exact timeline.
Beat, yeah.
And she also changes a lot of things because she is
doing smutty romance.
Yeah, and she's basing them off of the Disney characters, right? But today she made I did like her wig, by the way, but she made
so cute.
She made an Instagram story today and she was talking about Cross, which is her Hunchback of Notre Dame inspiration. The newest book that came out, which I have on my Kindle Unlimited. And she was talking about how Father Cade, which is like the Frollo inspo person, Frollo character, is like he's like way younger than Frollo, so like he's not like 65 years old. He has like jet black hair. He's like tall with dark eyes.
I was like, are we getting another priest?
That's the vibe it gives me. Have you seen the art for that?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, because like I didn't pre-order the book, right? So it came up on my Facebook page, so I screenshot it and then like cropped it down. Like I'm not gonna share it anywhere, but I just wanted it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hello. I cannot wait to read this book. I cannot wait. This is the one I've been waiting for.
Me too.
When is it coming out?
It's already out on the 1st.
Oh.
Yeah, but I need to find a way to like incorporate it either into this readathon or it's gonna have to be in Pick Pong. I do not care what I have to do to bend the rules of Pick Pong next month. I have to read this book.
Yeah, I don't know. I like because I need to read Wretched this month, and I don't like. I'm like, well, should I read them in order? I don't know.
I don't know if I want to read Wretched.
That's the one that Ryan and I are reading for Patreon.
I don't know. I've heard such mixed things about that. I don't know.
See, I heard that was the best one before Crossed.
I mean, Hooked is still my best one, but the only other one I've read so far is Scarred.
Did you say Wretched is based upon?
Do what?
Huh?
What did you say Wretched is based on?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Thank you.
But the synopsis makes it seem very mafia, so I do have hope.
Scarred, I understood what she was trying to do, but I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars.
I gave that one 5 stars.
I gave Hooked 5 stars. I love that one. And then Scarred, I don't know. I just didn't care. Like, by the time that the slow burn stopped slow burning, I just did not care anymore.
Well, I think I just read it at the right time because I read it in the middle of Smut Den in between a bunch of novellas.
Mm-hmm.
I could see why that was
like I wanted the slow burn angst politics plot.
Yeah. Okay. Like I feel that. I just I don't know. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see. I do want to read the Aladdin one, but I can't remember what the hell it's called.
Twisted.
Yeah, I do want to read that one. but Cross is the one that I've been waiting for, dude. Like when she was giving hints and stuff, like I guessed that it was the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and then it came out that it was, and we're not
Lost your life.
we're not going to talk about the scream that emitted.
The cover is so pretty.
It's, and I want it on my shelf, bro. Like
I bought it. I just went and bought it.
What? I've had friends that are really tall, and the girlfriend was always half their height. I mean, like I said, the height trope is fine. I just need it to be like realistic.
Well, and it's not even that. It's not even that it's not realistic. That's fine. It's every single one of Allie's.
Every single book. If it was like, if she did something different, I'd probably be like, oh, cool, let's get involved. But
yeah, but it's,
we can't have like a short dude. I'm just wondering.
Listen, did you hear Aoife? She is writing a werewolf book.
Oh, I heard that. I want to read it.
It's gonna be the biggest werewolf on the planet.
You know what werewolves are? Werewolves are so tall.
Right.
Honestly, werewolves
I'm really about to like read this just
Miss
so that
Ali.
Laugh.
Also, I realized for updating my cop-out when I read I can't remember what leg it was. Ali Hazelwood is not American.
She's Canadian?
Italian.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe men in Italy are just super tall. Maybe they're like the Dutch.
Yeah. I want when the woman is tall and the man is short. Bree is an office fan, so she'll get this reference. The Amazon women are seen in New York. This is about my number of books that I've read, I'm pretty sure. Not going to count my books or face off on my Goodreads. I'll sit for my longer books unless they are art.
Oh, I'm putting them.
I'm counting. I'm sorry. If I read the book, it's getting counted towards my goal.
I just might not rate everything.
I'm definitely like I said, I did log Christy's great idea, but I did not rate it. There's no rating with it just because I don't feel like I'm the demographic that should be rating it.
That's fair.
Right. Personally.
Fair.
All right. I don't know. Do we have time for one more?
We have time for another one.
Yeah. We still have over an hour.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do another 45-minute sprint. I have to go downstairs and get my food out of the oven.
I'm going to, because I'm reading a graphic novel next, and when I finish it, I'm going to hop off. So it might be in the middle of a sprint.
No problem. Do you have anything you want to plug before you go?
There's a playlist of sprints.
She's running a readathon for the whole month. What do you think she wants to plug?
In case you haven't heard about it, I'm running a readathon.
She'll also have a vlog going up sometime today.
Oh, yeah. That's going up at noon. There's Easter eggs.
You're welcome. Will my week 1 vlog go up? Who even knows? Because I'm about to
my week 2 vlog is going up.
I was like, at this point, your clue is no longer relevant.
Well, and here was the thing, it deleted the clip. Somehow I lost the clip that had the clue in it anyway.
Oh no.
No.
So I'm thinking I'm just gonna say forget it. And the first vlog y'all
get
are gonna
a new clue.
Weekend.
Yeah, that's
get
fine.
a new clue.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm just annoyed.
Aoife got a pretty good hint.
Aoife what?
Aoife got a pretty good hint in her last.
Aoife got a really good hint. Aoife got a really fucking spicy hint, man.
Can't wait to see it.
Yours goes up today too, right?
Today, me day. To the 12th of August. Yes.
Right. Well, it's past midday here now. So.
At 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. in German time, so 12 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Oh, mine's premiering at 12:15 Eastern.
Should I move mine?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll move mine.
I already talked to Brittany about making sure that she had a sprint happen at that point.
Yeah.
I can move mine to
you could do the next
3 p.m. Germany.
You could do that, yeah.
I can do a 3 p.m. Germany.
Just drop it now.
Boom. Everyone's asleep, dude.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Ready.
All right. We'll everybody in 45 minutes.
Miss
What?
Ali Hazelwood. Do we need to make a constant reference to how tall men are? I have about 40 pages left in this one, I think. So I should get it done in Victoria's first sprint if I don't use that one to film, which I might. I don't know. What about you?
I have 8 minutes left.
Oh, dude.
So I'll definitely finish in Victoria's sprint.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
I
go
believe in you.
over there. I'm actually gonna put the link down below.
Good idea. We'll see you all on Victoria's Sprints, everybody, unless you're super tired and it's 1 a.m., in which case you have my permission to sleep.
Let me throw it in the comments really quick.
Tired and it's 1 a.m., in which case.
No, shut up.
That was me telling everybody to sleep twice, so you know I mean it.
All right. But yeah, I have 8 minutes left of this book, so I'm gonna finish it, and then I guess I'm gonna spin again. I'm not actually. I need to update my vlog too because I'm not actually showing the spins on my vlog. It's just I'm like too lazy to do that.
I showed the first spin and then forgot for the second spin. I completely forgot that I was filming it. I was just like, oh, cool. And I was like, what is the chance that I will get Portugal again? It's not. Like, it's one, like, there's 8 countries on the spinner, I think. So I was like, look, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just told people.
Yeah, I just told people that where I went the first time. I'm just gonna tell people where I went the second time. To be honest, I just don't. Like, I'm too lazy to like superimpose the stupid video.
Oh,
like,
I ain't superimposing shit. I'm just like, here, this is my phone. This is what we did. Cool. This is where we going.
Wanted to wake up at 6 a.m. or 6 today since the face off started at 2 a.m. for me, and I couldn't stay awake. I did not wake up at 6, and it's almost 9. Well, that's okay. You can make up for reading time. It's fine.
You can.
It's like 2 a.m. here in Arkansas. Headed to bed. Good night. And Elizabeth made it 47% in their France book.
Nice.
Alrighty. Gotten Portugal twice and then France twice.
Okay, so it does happen. But did you get Portugal twice in a row and then France twice in a row? Or did you get them, like, breaks?
Like, Portugal, France, and then, like...
Because that's a different vibe.
Yeah. Because, you, like, on the spinner wheel, like, you have the option of, like, hiding the slice or whatever, and I haven't done that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, like, it gives you an... Like, when it pops up with, like, what it landed on, it'll say, like, hide slice, and I was like, I'm not going to hide the slice. Cause,
I'm
like,
not going to hide any of them.
That's
stupid.
Like, kind of the whole point. You know?
I'm not going to hide anything.
Allison said she got both in a row. So she got Portugal twice in a row, and then France.
Interesting. I just know that the spinner wouldn't have been that generous to me if I had to respin for a clip. I just know it would give me something completely different, and I'd have to start a whole new book.
Yeah, like if you were trying to spin specifically for the video, it's not going to give you Portugal.
No, absolutely not. It would give me something like Hungary, which would also still work because this book has like every color under the sun on it. But
right, but even so, yeah.
Even then,
42 pages of sprint for Sweden. Just spun again and got France. I'll be reading another Junie B. Jones book. I think I have got just about all of them so far.
Nice.
Yeah, Ari has a bunch of Junie B. Jones books. Like, she has the entire kindergarten collection.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I can subject myself to Junie B. Jones.
That's fair.
To be honest. Like, it's fun like to read with Ari. I just don't know if I want to read it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
15 pages left in Lore Olympus 4.
You can do that. Next sprint, absolutely.
A spooky book called The Undrowned.
Ooh.
That sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
I'm trying to decide because if I get a country that allows me to read Horror Store, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to read it on my iPad. Because are there pictures in it? Does anyone know?
I don't know. I've never read Horror Store.
Because it
But
looks
I'm trying to remember what colors are on the cover.
like all the colors.
Let me see. I know that there's a big ass yellow couch.
Yeah, there's like yellow and blue and black. Truly, it had fit one. It's fit for both of the ones that I've
Okay.
for.
You've got a blue, you've got a red, you've got a green, you've got a yellow, you've got a black, you've got a lot of white.
There's just like a lot of colors in here.
Yeah.
Because like this would have fit both of the spins that I've done so far.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to read other stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know if this has pictures in it. Because I do know that if you buy like the physical copy, it's shaped like an IKEA catalog.
Ooh.
Like it's square, like the IKEA catalog. Because like even when I pull it up on my iPad, like I'll show, or on my Kindle, like I'll show you. Because I bought it on Kindle because it's not now. It's back to normal price. But last Monday, it was in the Kindle deals for $2.99. So I grabbed it because I was like, well, I can just read this on my Kindle. Like even if it's one that you should read, like that people suggest that you read physically, like I can just read it on my iPad if it has colored photos in it. But even when I pull it up on my on my Kindle, it's square. Hold on. Oh yeah, there are. Well, like there's pictures like this in it. Like a picture of a couch. So maybe I'll read this on my iPad.
Maybe.
But like the cover is go. Like the cover is square. Like an IKEA catalog, even on the Kindle.
Yeah. It's such a cleverly designed cover.
Truthfully, I like just looking at it.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't even read horror, but I love that cover.
Yeah, like even in black and white, I just like looking at it. I don't know. It brings me peace for some reason.
IKEA does not bring me peace.
I
IKEA
mean,
brings nobody peace.
The cover gives me peace. It brings me peace. I'm not trying to go to IKEA. I will shoot myself. Definitely finishing before I go to bed. You can definitely do it. I wasn't going to read Junie B, but they are extremely cute. I had forgotten how cute they are. I mean, they are cute. Like I read them with Ari. I just don't know if I can subject myself to reading them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me sound like scared. But like I'm not like scared. I just don't.
Do you need your 6-year-old to be there to hold your hand?
Well, like Junie B. Jones kind of gets on my nerves.
Oh, fair.
Even when I'm like reading it to Ari, she gets on my nerves. So like I can't imagine just like being like I feel like reading a Junie B. Jones book. And then
That's fair.
If I remember from people saying, but not 100%. Yeah, it does at least have pictures like in the beginning of each chapter. So I might just pick it up on my iPad.
Okay.
30 minutes left of my second spin audio. Currently in a playpen folding washing while Adeline undoes all my work. Of course.
Life with a toddler.
Listen, Ari is 6 and she still does it.
Nice.
And then I'm like, do I need to send you out of here, bro, so I can do laundry? Horror Store does have pictures. It's just furniture ones, but they get creepy as you go. Okay, I'll probably read it on my iPad.
Cool.
That book might have the creepiest illustration of all time.
Okay, now you have to read it and find out what the creepy illustration is.
Victoria said she also hasn't been to IKEA since she read it.
Is that like a personal choice or just the opportunity hasn't arisen?
Well, it's supposed to be like like literally the IKEA store. Like a horror inside of an IKEA store, but he calls it something else because clearly he can't call it IKEA.
You can't call it IKEA, you'll get sued.
Right. I don't know. Maybe I'll stay on my IKEA trend.
Maybe he called it IKEA backwards. AKI.
I'm almost done with Fina, and that's like it's IKEA vibes.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's like gay IKEA with wormholes.
She did say gay IKEA, and I still want to know what IKEA would be gay for. I feel like a Home Depot.
Victoria said she's way too scared to go back. Okay, now I want to read this. Okay, hopefully the next spin I can fit this in because there's enough colors on the front I should be able to.
You should be able to.
Yeah, because now, like, I want to read it. Now that everybody's saying, like, that it scared them. Which, I mean, should I be reading a horror book at 3:50 in the morning?
Probably not. No.
But, am I gonna do it?
Yes.
Because I don't make great choices after 12 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody makes good choices at 3 a.m.
Because actually, when I reread the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, I finished that after midnight too, and I forgot how scary that book is.
I haven't read it.
It's
I haven't
like
read a single Grady Hendrix book because I'm not a horror girly.
it's like scary, but also just like gross.
Oh.
You know, because there's like I don't know.
Is there
I tell
gore?
people, yeah, and there's rodents and bugs.
No, not for me.
So I tell a lot of people like not to read it if. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna read the Horror Store in color because this is definitely. He calls it Orsk.
Okay.
ORSK.
Okay.
And it says Horror Store is an original work of fiction, horror, and parody. The contents of this book are not sponsored by, affiliated with, or endorsed by any furniture retailer or manufacturer. The settings and characters described in this story do not exist in real life. All furniture and merchandise featured herein are products of the author's fevered imagination, but also based off of IKEA. He got inspiration from IKEA. It's fine. Think I'm going to bed here soon because it is almost 4 a.m. I have to be up around 8. Yes, please sleep. Okay?
Ooh, go to bed.
Don't like stay up. Like I don't have to go to work tomorrow until 8 or today rather until 8 p.m. So like I have time to like.
Oh, you have time. I thought you were gonna say 8 a.m. and I was like, girly.
Oh, no. I have time to like.
5 hours.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have time. Grady Hendrix is not for me. I hated Southern Guide and IDNF Final Girls. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Grady Hendrix, this is also with like Riley Sager. They're both very like niche in their genres. You know? So like not everyone is going to love them, but they have a fan base.
Fair.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Illustrations aren't in color in the physical copy either. They are all blue scale. Yeah, but even on my, I would rather look at them in blue scale because on my Kindle they're just in black and white, so they're actually hard to see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like this is what it looks like on my iPad in the blue scale.
Mm-hmm.
But on my Kindle, instead of being in blue scale like this is all black, and then the couch is like outlined in white.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is hard to look at.
So it's like hard to even decipher like what's happening.
Yeah, fair.
So yeah. So even though it's in like I would just rather look at it in blue scale on my iPad, especially because it doesn't seem to. I always read on my iPad in dark mode, and that doesn't seem to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
To do that. So yeah. Wonderful. Plus I can blow up the pictures on my iPad.
Sure. You can zoom in and stuff.
I wish KU books could be read to you. Do you have a Kindle? Because there is a way to do it. I know how to do it on the Kindle. You'd have to have Bluetooth, like a speaker or headphones or something. And I'm going to warn you that it is robotic. Like, it doesn't sound like narration. But
and also, if you have an Amazon helper friend, like that one over there, your Amazon helper friend can also read your books if you ask them to do that.
Also, I'm pretty sure you can set it so that on your iPhone, so that the Apple version of the assistant can also read them to you. But of course, with any of the assistants, it's going to use.
It's not going to sound like a human. Let's be honest. It's going to sound really robotic.
It's going to sound like a robot, and it's going to be on whatever setting you have it set on, which is why I personally don't do it that way. But if that's what you're looking for, like there are ways to do it.
Yeah, and also it's very difficult to speed it up and it's like you can speed it up, but it still sounds a little bit weird, and also it's very difficult to like jump forward. You can't just say jump ahead to whatever.
Yeah.
I find
Yeah,
it
you
very
can do
strange.
this.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah,
That's funny.
there's a reason that my parents have no idea what is on my Kindle. Separate
Yeah,
account.
there's a reason I stopped share. Like my dad used to share my like I used to share like my Kindle library with him, and I started reading smut. So I changed the password to everything, and he was like, "I can't access your Kindle library anymore." And I was like, "I know,
Yeah, that's
won't
not
be.
an accident, Dad.
You literally won't be ever again." And then he started like watching my YouTube channel and stuff, and he was like, "So this is why you don't let me use your Kindle anymore, your Kindle account anymore?" And I was like, "Yeah." So
Mm-hmm.
because I don't need you to know what I'm reading. Thank you. Hello. Went to bed and woke up now. Submitted 2 books before going to sleep, but I've had you playing in the living room since midnight. Thank you so much. We're about to go over to Victoria's channel here in a second. So I put the link somewhere right here. If you scroll up, I put the link. So you can jump over there. Otherwise, you can use the playlist that Bree made. It's on the playlist is on her channel, and if you just like click on it, then it'll take you to the next
Automatically? That's
Yeah.
very intelligent.
Which I found that out when I did 24-hour sprints last month. Because somebody told me in the comments that if they started the sprint from the playlist, then it would automatically jump them to the next one when it went live.
That's really clever.
Tried the Kindle Robot, it was awful. So now if I listen, I try not to listen to romance. Yeah,
oh my god, that would be awful.
Yeah, the Kindle one is not great. Like I think that it's great for people that need it.
Mm-hmm.
Like accessibility wise. But
Mm-hmm.
like if you're just a person that wants the book read to you, like me, like it's not like I can't get past the way that it sounds.
That's fair.
So it drives me nuts. And like a lot of Kindle Unlimited books are not offered audibly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because audio is expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, because actually that's why I put a pause on my where were we going? London book is because I don't have it on audio. So
okay. So you have to read it with your eyeballs.
Yeah, and it's a Kindle Unlimited book, and it gets me GRC because it's the second book in a series of one of my host favorites.
Okay.
But I'm just like kind of working like when I lay down to go to sleep today, I will probably read some more of it because I don't do audio to go to sleep.
Okay.
So. All right, we're gonna jump off here. We're gonna go over to Victoria. So we'll see you there or not. Thanks for hanging out. Let me not hit end or not leave studio, but end broadcast. Okay, goodbye.